.380 ACP versus .22 mag. They rival each other. The .22 mag can rival the .380 ACP. The .22 mag is just as powerful as the .380 ACP. I hear that a lot. And it is something I have been curious about for a long time. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a ballistic test of both of these. And what I happen to have for the .22 mag is the gold dot. And I think this is probably a good, it's actually a short barreled. I think it's probably a good representation because it's a 40 grain. It's kind of meant for handguns. And if it is a bonded bullet, that's exactly what you want. You want to have as much mass without the jacket coming off as possible when you're going that low. I don't have any gold dot in 380, but this right here is kind of the quintessential 380 load. It's just a normal average Winchester USA, also known as Winchester White Box 380 ACP jacketed hollow point, a 95 grain. So a big difference in weight here. They don't rival each other in weight or diameter, but what I'm going to do here to try to make this happen is I'm going to use a 4 3/4 inch Rough Rider, a Heritage Rough Rider, because this is pretty much your maximum concealed carry size gun, I would say, if you were going to carry something like that or use it for home defense, because our profile of this gun is almost exactly the same as a 4-inch like 357 44 mag, but because it's a smaller frame, even though it's 4 3/4 instead of 4 inches, it actually is just the same size as a 4-inch revolver pretty much. And for the 380, I'm going to be using the Ruger LCP with a 2 3/4 inch barrel. So this might happen, but we're going to have to see what we get. So we're going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time. I'm going to go through our ballistic gel blocks, but I'm going to use the Ballistic baloney pack. This is 1 3/4 inches of baloney. We're covered by 4 layers of denim, followed by 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard and 2 10% clear ballistics. And why this might matter, you know, when we talk high-end rounds like 9mm plus P, 45 plus P, 357 mag, this kind of doesn't matter. This is a pretty good representation of like human flesh on average, the type of density that it would be. And it kind of doesn't matter with high-end rounds, but when you have low-end rounds like we're testing today, sometimes you're going to want to have a rib simulation, because that's going to make all the difference of whether your bullet performs or not. So we're definitely going to use this, and this represents roughly 7 inches of our clear ballistics. So we basically add that to it. So if we had 3 inches total penetration, we'd add 7. We'd be talking 10 inches if it were just this. However, it's a little bit different because on low end rounds, they're probably not going to expand just in this, but they will expand after hitting this. So it's different, but it's kind of the same at the same time. And we're also going to shoot from 25 yards. I had a lot of people say that I don't shoot from 25 yards. I shoot from 5 feet, but I shoot from here. And this is marked out. I can't move this stuff. This is marked out to 25 yards. Always has been. I use picture in picture. That's why you see it like that. I'm not 5 feet away. And we're going to shoot our 10-inch steel gong. And why I think this is an important thing to use is because in this day and age, in self-defense, you might only have a target that big with what people are wearing, if you can catch my drift. And rather than bench rest and see what kind of potential accuracy we get, I like to just take your average concealed carry gun and just take your average guy, which is me, and shoot at this and see if I can hit it, because that's kind of more important than grouping on paper. So let's get started with this test and see if 380 ACP really does rival 22 mag or vice versa. All right, first up is our 380 ACP. This is rated at 955 feet per second. Probably from a much longer barrel, but let's see how close we can get to 955 feet per second, this little short LCP barrel. 893. 851. 859. No read. It's out of ammo. Let's run a few more. 861. No read. 867. All right, now I'm gonna run some Blazer Brass 95 grain full metal jacket, because I'm gonna run these at the steel plate at 25 yards because they're a lot cheaper than those hollow points. And I want to see if these are comparable velocity and point of aim and impact at 5 yards. No read. 871. 890. So I'm going to say those are pretty much comparable to the hollow points. So let's run the 22 mag and see how that compares. All right, 22 mag. I believe the handgun rating is 1,000 feet per second, but it's short barreled, so I think that's out of a snub nose. But let's just see anyways what kind of velocity and accuracy we get with this Gold Dot 22 mag. 1220. That's good. 1137. Misfire. I'm not going to blame the ammo. You know, this is like a $150 revolver, so yeah. We'll just keep going with this. $11.40. $11.34. $11.13. $11.19. So not too bad. One of them is a little bit higher than the rest of them, so not quite consistent. But let's hit our ballistic gel block covered by that baloney pack and just see how these compare to each other. All right, first up we have our 380 ACP. Let's see what kind of damage we get with this. Interesting. All right, here's our baloney pack. A lot of damage going on there. Here's where we impacted. That does indicate we're starting to get a little bit of expansion there, and a lot of damage out the back. Let's see what we got in the ballistics gel block. All right, so what we can see right here is we definitely got expansion. We can see some of that baloney and stuff coming in there, and sometimes this camera doesn't pick up the right angle of what I'm seeing. But the damage path is a little over 6 inches, about 6 1/4. So that's about 13 1/4 overall if we were talking just this gel block. So that is definitely good. That is good. And what we have is, it looks like we have pretty good controlled expansion. You know, that Winchester white box is doing better than what I've seen a lot of high-end 380s do. That's interesting. Let's try our 22 mag. All right, 22 mag Gold Dot. This shit's a little high. I'm gonna have to aim a little bit low. All right. All right, here's our damage for the baloney pack. I can't necessarily say it looks better or worse than the 380. Here's where we impacted. That is a little bit larger than starting diameter. Coming out the back. Interesting. Let's see what we got in the gel block. All right, so what we're seeing here is pretty impressive. I don't see any, jacket separation. And what we're looking at here is this is at about 9.5. So that's like 16.5 comparison to just gel. Definitely can see some expansion there. So yeah, that is ideal performance. That's perfect performance. That is really interesting. And when I'm using that fiberboard, as weird as this sounds, or as bad as this sounds, or above our rating as this sounds, hitting something wet, then hitting something hard, and then going into this gel block to catch it, I feel like that gives us a better realistic example of what it would be like hitting a human body, because we're going through that liquidy meat. We're hitting that fiberboard that's going to represent hitting a rib, and then we're going into this. So I'm going to say this is perfect performance. So let's shoot from 25 yards and see how these two do compared to each other. All right, here's our full metal jacket 380. Let's see what we can do with this. It should shoot the same as that hollow point, but let's see if I can hit that 10-inch gong at 25 yards. All right, my hold is a little bit high above that plate. Finding that hold is important, but let's throw some more at it. I will say that this pistol is very finicky, and it really liked that jacketed hollow point ammo. We didn't have any malfunctions like we normally get with this. And it likes this full metal jacket too, so we'll keep going. All right, let's try the 22 mag. All right, 22 mag, I'm gonna shoot double action. Of course, I'm kidding, it's a single action only. But it was shooting a little bit high like most ammo, so I'm gonna have to aim probably at the base of that plate and see where we hit. All right, my hold on that plate is about 3 inches below it, so let's try some more. All right, so, you know, that last test with this ammo is kind of just for fun because this is not really a legitimate carry gun. So I can't really take the accuracy and say, hey, this is not accurate. You know, this is a Rough Rider. So that's really not what the point of this video is anyway, is going for accuracy. But looking at the ballistic performance, if you had a barrel about this long, if you had something that's a little bit better than this, like some sort of, you know, Smith & Wesson or Ruger, probably even a 3-inch LCR and 22 mag, where it's going to be a better gun than this and shoot more accurately, what I can definitely say is it's going to perform really well in a ballistics test, which means it's going to probably perform really well on the street. So what I'm seeing here, does 22 mag rival 380? I'm going to say for foot-pounds energy, yeah. For reliability, no. Does not rival the bullet weight, so it's not going to rival the momentum. However, because it's a smaller diameter, it needs less momentum. So what I'm going to say here is, I think overall, when we're looking at a self-defense performance, I'm still going to say that the 380 does better because there's a lot of statistical data on that that says it's, you know, at least 50 to 60 to 70% ability to stop someone in one shot, as where most of your 22 data is really, really low. Now, our ballistic test would indicate they would do the same, but I think there's more to the story than that, because I think that larger diameter is going to matter versus a 22 diameter. That's not to say this would not work. I think this would work. I think this would work. However, if I had to pick between the two, I would not pick this unless I had a reason why, like I could not shoot that 380, which a lot of people can't. They can't even rack the slides on those. So overall, pretty comparable, I suppose, but not really in another sense. So that's what you get today. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.